What's up, y'all? Welcome to the On the Come Up podcast, where creative entrepreneurs share their come up journeys that turn their passions into success. I'm your host, Kimberly, so let's get started. What is up, guys? We are back with another episode. If you remember my girl, Cauliflower, from season 3, episode 5, she is back with a whole new season. If you all remember her music journey, island girl from Hawaii. She moved to the mainland when she was 8 years old. Now we're in a different season. It's real, it's raw, it's reflective, and it's what it means to feel lost while giving purpose. So, Kali, welcome back to On the Come Up podcast.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here, and that intro was amazing. I'm like, dang, she remembered all that.
I told you I had to remember.
I love it.
So, how have you been?
I've been so good. I've been so, not busy, but, productive. We're moving a lot of things along the way for Lost Girl season right now.
Mm-hmm. I know. I was looking back, and I was like, dang, it's been 10 months since I last saw you.
Dang, and not even a year.
Or that's last crazy. Saw you at the podcast. But yeah. I've seen you before, but after.
Right. Yeah, it's been a minute. Wow.
I know. So tell us, what does Lost Girl season mean to you personally and artistically?
Lost Girl season to me is just like a very vulnerable time. It's like the transition of becoming who you want to be versus like who you've been based on like habits you've created, the environment that you grew up in. So to me, it's just that transformative period where anything could happen and things could come, things could go, and you just don't know what's happening, which is what I feel like is such a good example of what's happening in my life right now. And artistically, it's something that everyone can relate to if they've ever experienced some form of loss. So like family member, a job, feeling lost within themselves. Like I really just wanted to create a community where people could come together and not feel so alone when they're dealing with something like that.
How did you know you were like stepping into a new season?
Well, this was already planned, to be honest. And I think I talked about it on the last podcast, a little bit of my 5-year plan.
Yeah, you actually did. You threw that out there like 10 months ago. You did.
Yeah. So it was kind of already like the foundation was set, but I didn't really know what it was going to look like until the time came around. And I think it was such a good timing because I was going through so many different things, and so were my like friends and family around me. And so I was able to use like all that for inspiration to create, Lost Girl season.
Yeah, like what made you want to go back to Hawaii to like visually tell the story of Lost Girl?
I mean, I feel like whenever I feel so overwhelmed or like lost in what's happening around me or within me, I always want to book a trip to Hawaii, and I always just want to go back because I feel like being there, I can let go of the day-to-day things and really just hone in on like what am I feeling, what am I going through, and processing it and figuring out what the next steps are. Like I guess just finding clarity. So it was only right for us to take it back to Hawaii. But shout out Jacob Leaks. He was the one who had filmed everything with me there. He came with me and we just shot so many things, and it was really cool because it was the first time I wasn't just there to see my family and hang out. It was like the first time I took my passion in music back to, where I'm from.
Yeah, I love that. How did you have like everything planned out, like what you wanted to record and stuff?
We had like a good solid plan, just because we knew we had limited time. I think we were there for like 8-9 days.
That's a long time though.
It sounds long, but for everything we were doing down there, and I didn't want it to just be like work, right? So when we'd plan a hike, I'd be like, okay, let's go wake up early, hike to see the sunrise, and once we get up there, when the sun's up, like let's film. So it would be like that constant like enjoying, but then filming and then working and then getting to like go to the beach and relax.
Yeah, I love that you already like, you knew he could bring out the visuals. So you're like, okay, you're coming with me.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I trusted him so heavy.
I did notice, so before you dropped Lost Girl season, that you went quiet on social media. How hard was that?
That's such a good question. Honestly, it was killing me because it's almost like an ego death, I feel like, another layer of that, because your views go down, your followers go down. Like, you're not active. There's nothing for people to watch or really follow you for. But I feel like that's almost like shedding dead weight. And when you come back, it's like, oh, your people who have, like, been with you since day one, who still ride with you, are here. And then now these new people are coming. So it was hard, but it was so nice, though. Not having to schedule, create, or really like be online and just like immerse myself, especially when I was in Hawaii, just like be present. It was everything.
I knew you were coming up with something because I was like, oh, she's been quiet for a minute.
Really?
Yeah, because like you're like, I would always see your one of your stories always like pop up like right when I click on Instagram. You're like one of the first persons, and I was like, she's been quiet lately. I was like, she's dropping some good stuff. I was like, I can feel it. I was like, I already knew, like, well, because I don't know you, but I know you, you know? So I was like, I knew she's coming up with something.
That. See?
What would you say, like, the biggest difference is your creative process between, like, the last season and then this season?
Oh, I think the biggest thing is last season I was so meticulous and strategic and still growing as an artist too. So throughout that, I felt like there was a lot of things I was more so doing to gain the experience and learn instead of really like loving it and being authentic within it and being me, because during Fuck Girl season I really wanted to be seen. You know, it was my first time putting out music. It's my first time coming out as an artist. So I wanted everyone to know who is Cauliflower. And so when Lost Girl season came about, it was time for a change, and I felt like I wanted to be more vulnerable. I wanted to let go of the perfectionism, the having to have everything planned out, and really just let things flow. So this process around was really just like go in the studio, don't have anything prepped, and just let whatever's on your heart flow out, you know? And the same with the visuals. Some things were prepped, but like in the moment it's like, oh, let's just do this because this is like what I'm thinking in this moment, you know?
So while you were still in your last season, were you like writing out songs for Lost Girl season, or did it? Like,
oh yeah, because to me, Fuck Girl season really ended with my finale opening up for Tay Day. Shout out Tay Money. And I was already working on Lost Girl season from, I want to say like May of the last year.
Oh, okay. So you were like one step ahead of the game then.
Well, yeah, paths were definitely crossed.
Oh, okay. That's what I was wondering. Like, but you already kind of had a vision, like you explained. Were there any parts of yourself like you discovered or rediscovered this season?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, if there's any season to be rediscovered, it's Lost Girl season for sure, you know? And it wasn't just parts of me that I feel like needed healing on a personal level. It was also so much growth happening on like a spiritual and professional level with my music career. And I could like go on and on into all those things, but I think the biggest thing for me was just finally learning to trust myself and trust my vision and just be authentic. Like, this is the first time I feel like I've ever actually been me in my music.
Yeah, so is that how do you want like your audience to see Lost Girl season?
I think I just want it to be like, you know, art's subjective, right? So I just want them to take it however they see fit. Like, if they hear Bottom of the Ocean and they're like, man, you know, I lost my relationship that I really love. And a lot of people have opened up to me about how they felt about listening to these songs, and someone relates to that. And then with Lost that I just dropped, that like internal battle of who you were before and who you want to be, a lot of people can relate to that too, you know? So I just want them to take away whatever they feel like they're feeling while they're listening to it.
Like emotionally, right? If you could describe this season in colors of or imagery, what would it look like?
Hawaii. It would be like the ocean, the sunrise or sunset. You know, you have your blues, your oranges, like nature filled. But just like, yeah, like paradise, which is so funny because you think when you're lost, it'd be so opposite. It'd be like chaotic. But I think I wanted to take a different spin on the positive side of being lost.
What made you come up with blue? Is it like because of the ocean?
You know, it was because I knew I was going to Hawaii and that's where I was going to film. So I was like, I think this would be great to incorporate it. But I also just think Lost Girl season, like when you're lost, sometimes you feel sad or down, or maybe there's moments of like calmness. And I feel like blue is such a good color to embody that. And then the orange comes where it's like happy and cheerful. So I feel like they kind of balance each other out. That's why I love them.
So if y'all are watching this, we got Lost Girl season colors up in here.
Yes, she came with it.
You have the
I came with
hair.
it.
By the way, I love the hair.
Thank you.
It's a very good
I'm obsessed.
shift. Would you change it for a different season? Is that to be dated?
It depends. I don't know yet. It's too far ahead.
Right. Do you think you need to feel lost sometimes to grow creatively?
Yeah, I think you need to feel lost sometimes to grow, period, like in general, because I feel like we get so used to sticking to the same routines and the same things or same mindset, same friends. And it's like, sometimes you have to shed that weight, and that does sometimes create tension where you feel lost within your relationship or your career or even yourself. But that space allows you to try, again, like I said earlier, try something different, like do something new. And for me, I don't know if you can like feel it, but I feel like if people were to watch the episode we had last year to like now, like just the energy in itself would feel so different. And that's the beauty of being lost, is you have a chance to create a new reality or who you want to be, you know, like life is whatever you make it.
Yeah, I love that. What advice for independent artists who feel lost in this industry do you have?
I like how you threw that in there. You know, I would just say the biggest thing that I personally do when I'm lost is I pray on it. Like, I take a lot of things to God. I've allowed God to have his hand in so much of the season that, like, I feel like I've never done before. Because not all the time, like, will we have answers, can we rely on things of this world? So I feel like if you do feel lost, like, take it to him, but also take it back to your roots. Like, going back to Hawaii, like, even though I filmed beautiful visuals, I think it was so necessary before the rollout of Lost Girl season happened, because that's who I am at my core, you know? And, like, as we go throughout life, we're going to be put in places, different things. Like, I'm in Texas, and, like, it's so different than Hawaii, you know? And just go back to who you are, because that's always going to be where I feel like you'll find clarity.
Yeah, I love that, because I like how you're not afraid to, like, express your emotions through, like, your music and these different seasons, you know? So I think that's great that the vulnerability that you show yourself as an artist, like, also gives that confidence for other artists to do the same, you know?
Yeah, it's a hard thing to do. Like, being vulnerable in general, like, is not easy, but it's so beautiful when you challenge yourself to just do it.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people have even I sometimes have a hard time showing that vulnerability online, you know, because people you don't want to be perceived as, oh, she's weak or sad, you know, but it's like, I think that's the best part, is showing it, you know, because that gives other people to feel the same.
Yeah, and I think people nowadays, because there's so much going on, there's so many things that's being fed to us, like distractions, it's like people just want real people to be themselves, you know? And I think that's the best thing you can be right now.
So how do you stay motivated through all?
That's a good question. Honestly, and I was asking myself this the other day, because I was running off like 4 hours of sleep, and then I had work, and then a podcast interview, and then a show after, and I was like, man. But to be honest, the thing that gets me through it all is just like my purpose. I feel like when you know your purpose in life, every day you wake up and it's like, okay, I get a chance to like live in my purpose and impact other people. And I think when you really start looking outside of yourself, that's when you can really find joy in every day.
Yeah, I love that. So we're going to play a little This or That Lost Girl edition.
I love games.
Okay. So Lost in the City or Lost in Nature?
Oh, man, that's so hard. Honestly, Lost in the City.
Lost in the City?
Yeah.
Okay. Healing through heartbreak or through hustle?
Dang, I'm gonna have to go with healing through hustle.
Healing through hustle?
Yeah.
Studio vibes or live shows?
Oh my gosh, these are hard. Honestly, right now, studio vibes.
Studio vibes. And write it out or sing it out?
I'm gonna write it out.
You're gonna write it out?
And then I'm gonna sing it out.
Yeah. It's like plan 1, plan
right.
2.
Oh my gosh, that was hard.
That's so funny. I was gonna ask you, when you wrote Bottom of the Ocean, was there a specific person you had in mind?
You know, with that one, it wasn't even just one specific person. I think it was like accumulation of people that came to mind, and it wasn't even just my situation by myself. It's so funny though, because when I explained Bottom of the Ocean, so when I had heard the melody that Pretty Dim, he's the producer who made everything you hear on Lost Girl season, shout out him, he played the beat, and I was like, so I always come up with melodies first typically, so I had this melody in my head, and I was like, this song sounds so familiar, and it ended up being a song by Miley Cyrus called Bottom of the Ocean that I would listen to when I was in 7th grade, I think. It was when she came out with the Hannah Montana Meet Miley Cyrus CD. And I was obsessed with listening to it. And so really a lot of it came from how that song made me feel. And then just thinking of like what it's really like to lose someone, because when you listen to the words, like losing something at the bottom of the ocean is deep. Mm-hmm. Like nobody's going to the bottom of the ocean to find what was lost. So
that could also be like also even grieving someone that's still alive too.
Yeah. Yeah, like for me, I think the most relatable thing was grieving a relationship that ended before like you were ready for it to end, because that's hard. And you almost feel like you'll never find something like that again.
Yeah, that is tough. That's a whole different conversation.
I know. Let's stop.
So, Kali, show us what you have here on the table.
Oh my gosh, guys. So, we have the Dallas Observer, and they actually just put out an article written by my good friend Alex G. But it's a whole spread. Like, it's this whole page. It's not just a tiny article. It's the whole page. But it's basically just documenting what Lost Girl season is. And it's so crazy because when you read it, he went back to when we were at a coffee shop back in, I think, March, when I had first showed him Bottom of the Ocean. And I didn't even know how he was going to write this.
Oh, so he was just, like, taking notes while having conversations.
Yeah. Like, I read it and I was like, dang, hold on, do I need to watch myself? It was beautiful, though.
That's beautiful. So if y'all guys are watching on YouTube here, you could see her. Her whole
online too.
Page, and it's online. I love that. That's a cute picture.
Thank you. Shout out my cousin. She did it.
Shout out to the fam. Well, Kali, thank you so much for coming for a part 2. We both have changed in different ways, growth. You guys, me and Kali we recorded the podcast in my apartment lounge.
Hey, start from somewhere.
And so now we're here. But let everybody know where they can find you.
Yes, so you can find me on all streaming platforms, Cauliflower, that's Kali space flower. And you can find me on all social medias at Kali the Girl, that's at Kali the Girl.
Love it. And what's next for Kali?
You know, I actually have like a really big thing that I think I'm going to be announcing soon, but I can't say too much about it. But it is another reason why I went down to Hawaii to get, a little more than what's out and what people have seen already.
Okay, so stay tuned, guys. Keep your eyes open and your ears peeled. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It was a pleasure talking with you again. You guys, don't forget to subscribe, like, and we also have a website on the comeup-pod.com. We will see you guys in 2 weeks.
Bye.